Most luxurious fashion brands. Hey everyone, it's Alexa again. Welcome back to another video. When you wear a luxury brand, you feel glamorous, powerful, and wealthy. I mean, nobody needs to know that you didn't eat for a week to be able to afford that amazing luxury brand jacket, right? Today we have a look at some of the most luxurious fashion brands, from clothing, accessories, to cosmetics. But before we get into today's video, make sure that you're subscribed and ring the bell so that you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Armani. This well-known luxury brand started in 1975 by Giorgio Armani. This Italian designer designed menswear for various Italian brands before launching his own. Fashion wasn't his first choice in career, though. He originally wanted to get into filmmaking. He used to dress actors in movies and credits his love for fashion to the cinema. He has over 2,000 stores worldwide, and celebs like Michelle Pfeiffer and Richard Gere love his clothing. He has several sub-labels like Emporio Armani, Armani Exchange, Armani Collezioni, Armani Kids, and others. He is the first fashion designer to ban models who had a BMI of less than 18. Lancome. This is one of the leading luxury cosmetics brands in the world and is owned by L'Oreal. Lancome originally started as a fragrance house in 1935 and over time expanded into a billion-dollar cosmetics brand industry. They've featured the likes of Kate Winslet, Julia Roberts, and Penelope Cruz in their ad campaigns. Gucci. One of the most popular luxury brands in 2019 is Gucci. 2019 has seen sales and market share rise dramatically for this Italian brand, who are said to have cracked the luxury code with millennials. Founded in 1921, Gucci has been at the forefront of engaging social media campaigns, including #GucciGram to #TFWGucci. Founder Guccio Gucci got his inspiration in Britain as he was working as an elevator operator in London's Savoy Hotel. He met people like Winston Churchill and Marilyn Monroe and was inspired by their accessories. Today, Gucci is owned by Kering, under the control of French billionaire François Pinault. The most popular online Gucci purchases are the Gucci belt, flip-flops, and shoes. Coach 1941. A brand that sometimes slips under the radar is Coach, but well-known celebs like Chloe Grace Moretz and Selena Gomez have both fronted the label. The company was started in 1941 by a group of New York City artisans, and it was originally called Manhattan Leather Bags. It was bought by Miles and Lillian Kahn 20 years later. The line began with bags that got their inspiration from baseball mitts, and only later were women's handbags made. They've now got a ready-to-wear line, which includes clothing and accessories. Tiffany Co. When you think of this luxury brand, you automatically think of the little egg blue boxes the pieces come in. It was founded in 1837 by Charles Louis Tiffany, and originally, he and John B. Young sold stationery and other fancy items. When Tiffany took it over in 1853, he shifted his attention to jewelry. Today, the range includes jewelry, fragrances, crystal water bottles, stationery, and watches. The blue boxes have their official color, called Pantone number 1837. The brand has kept up with changing times and has tapped into young celebs like Elle Fanning and Zoe Kravitz for their ad campaigns. Their most popular items are rings, necklaces, and bracelets. Versace. When you think of a family-run business, you don't think of a fashion empire, but Versace is just that. This Italian luxury fashion brand was the result of the vision of Gianni Versace, and his biggest muse was his sister, Donatella. The pair have always been very close. His trademark was the golden dress Oroton. The label has dressed Tina Turner, Madonna, Elton John, and Jennifer Lopez. It was the low-cut green Versace dress with the plunging neckline given to Lopez that made Google start their feature of Google Images. So many people were trying to find an image of her in the dress, and Google realized there was a need that had to be filled. Chanel. This fashion brand powerhouse was the result of the ambitions and risk-taking of Coco Chanel, who defied all odds to create her own empire. She used to be a cabaret singer, and she only earned tips for her performances. She was the first person to introduce pants for women to the fashion world, as she found riding the gondolas in Venice was awkward with skirts. And the same goes for horse riding. Her range includes clothing, handbags, watches, and fragrances. Karl Lagerfeld took over the role as a creative director right up until his death in February of this year. Fendi. The House of Fendi was founded in Rome in 1925. It started off as a fur and leather shop, but all that changed in 1946 when the founders' 5 daughters got on board and brought in fresh, fashionable ideas. Fendi is most well known for its bags, including the famous baguette worn by Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City. Their range includes clothing, eyewear, fragrances, and shoes. Ralph Lauren. His career began in the Army, and thereafter Ralph Lauren worked as a salesman for Brooks Brothers. Born in New York, Lauren was christened Ralph Lifshitz. He changed his surname when he was 16 because he was constantly teased in school. From the age of 28, he began working for tie manufacturer Beau Brummel, and he then began making his own ties from rags. He was asked to tweak his ties and add a private company logo on them, which he refused. In 1971, he launched his own line, and the Polo label was introduced. He's been married to Ricky and Laura Beer since 1964. He has a range of clothing, perfumes, and accessories and has designed for the Olympics, Wimbledon, and the US Open. Louis Vuitton, or you can just say LV. Louis Vuitton opened his first store in 1854. Louis Vuitton was the trunk maker to Empress Eugénie de Montijo, wife of Napoleon III. Every Louis Vuitton bag is handmade and takes about a week to produce. They are waterproof, fireproof, and anything not sold is sent back to the factory and destroyed. Louis Vuitton bags are never on sale, and that's why the price will always remain high, because there's so much exclusivity. Famous streetwear and digital-powered designer Virgil Abloh launched his debut men's collection for Louis Vuitton, ushering in a new era for the iconic brand. This meant a diverse audience was now interested in the brand, and sales increased exponentially. The most popular items are belts, bags, and wallets. Burberry. Age is but a number because Thomas Burberry was only 21 when he began this luxurious fashion brand. He started off as an apprentice draper and learned a lot about fashion doing that. He invented a breathable and waterproof fabric called gabardine because he was fed up with the lack of waterproof fabric available. He created the forerunner of the trench coat, a coat without buttons with a belt to tie it up. He was approached to design something useful for men fighting in World War I, and his coat included a place to store grenades, maps, flasks, binoculars, and gas masks. There was extra protection in the chest area, and the coat got the name trench coat. The brand has been around ever since. Marc Jacobs. He was once the creative director of Louis Vuitton, where he introduced their first ready-to-wear clothing line. The tattoo-loving designer has done a lot of good for charity, including the Protect the Skin You're In campaign to raise awareness and funds for melanoma. Victoria Beckham, Chloe Sevigny, and Cara Delevingne were all part of this campaign. Dior. Christian Dior's family really wanted him to become a diplomat, but he was far more interested in art. As a youngster, he would sell fashion sketches outside his house for 10 cents apiece. This highly superstitious designer would always consult tarot cards before launching a new line. Christian Dior founded his fashion label in 1946. The brand is known for its leather goods, jewelry, ready-to-wear, footwear, and accessories. Hermes. It's Hermes that can take all the credit for the sought-after Birkin bag. The history of Hermes dates back to the 1800s. They were a high-end saddle and harness manufacturer. The first handbag was designed by heir Émile Maurice, whose wife struggled to find the perfect handbag. They've managed to keep up with the times, and their website is rich in editorial content and the perfect place to order your scarf, belt, or watch. You won't be able to purchase a bag online, though. You'll have to do that in person. The most expensive Hermes bags sold for $379,261. Prada. Mario Prada began Prada in 1913, where they began producing leather bags. It wasn't until the 1990s that clothing was introduced by Miuccia Prada. She's the youngest granddaughter of Mario Prada and has her PhD in political science. They are not a flashy luxury brand and like to be understated. Those in the know will know. Prada's line includes Miu Miu, Granello, Prada Uomo, and Prada Donna. Miu Miu is Miuccia's nickname. Oscar de la Renta. This famous designer was born in the Dominican Republic and moved to Spain when he was 18. His claim to fame was dressing the First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy, and he dressed every First Lady from then on, except for Michelle Obama. He was responsible for designing the wedding dress that Amal Alamuddin wore when she married George Clooney. Oscar de la Renta also has a children's clothing line that includes baby wear. Rolex. So many popular songs containing lyrics about how incredible it is to be flashing a Rolex on the wrist, and it's one of the most valuable brands in the world. This luxury watch brand is based in Geneva, Switzerland. Every watch is handmade and takes up to a year to make. They are made with the most expensive stainless steel in the world, and nobody even knows what the name Rolex means. The most expensive Rolex watch sold for $17.75 million. They've done an incredible job at reaching affluent millennial consumers, and their most popular products include the Rolex Submariner, Rolex Daytona, and the Rolex Oyster Perpetual. Clinique. We're spoiled for choice when it comes to cosmetic brands, but Clinique has done a spectacular job in remaining a luxury brand. It was formed in 1968 under the Estee Lauder brand and is valued at $5.96 billion. Michael Kors. He always had a gift for fashion and redesigned his mom's wedding dress when he was 5 years old. He initially focused on women's fashion, but his brand has grown exponentially over recent years, adding menswear and accessories. The secret to his success is he loves seeing women happy in their clothes, which is also why women love the brand so much. They feel comfortable and happy in this luxurious fashion brand. Bulgari. Founded in Rome in 1884, Bulgari is one of Italy's oldest jewelry houses. They have a strong presence on social media, and they like to use rising talent like Instagram's Golden Barbie, Jasmine Sanders, to Brazilian influencer entrepreneur Helena Borden to market their brand. The most popular product searches online include Bulgari watch, Bulgari jewelry, and Bulgari rings. For those of us who can't afford these luxury fashion brands, what have you always dreamed of buying? Let us know in the comments below. 1. Yves Saint Laurent. He's had a love for fashion since he was a little boy and would design dresses for his mother and 2 sisters. His mom believed in his potential and took him to Paris when he was 17 to meet the editor of French Vogue. One of the things he is remembered for was posing naked to advertise his own fragrance for men in the 70s. The brand is known as Saint Laurent today and is famous for gorgeous party dresses and, of course, monogrammed bags.